At a junction in the road, we got a couple people parked here. The first vehicle has Alaska plates. So this sign here is for the Tangle Blue Lake Trailhead. I definitely do want to come back and do Tangle Blue, which is right there. So you park here, you take the trail here. There's a mine I'd like to visit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this primitive road that's straight ahead and just at least get out of the way of this area here. So I usually like to be unnoticed. And then I gotta cross Tangle Blue Creek and then gain the ridge up there. That's where the bushwhack's gonna be. Come up through here, catch Log Lake, and this is where I parked. I only made it about 1/10 of a mile down from where those two other vehicles were, just because there's a section here that got eaten away by water and erosion. I'm gonna walk this way. I hear the creek pretty close nearby. Find a easy spot to cross it and then just start powering up the hill. So this initial part here is kind of going through all the huckleberry oak. It's nice when there's a downed tree like this. Makes it just a little bit easier to pass through all this mayhem. Oh my gosh, come on. I feel like I'm back in BC. How thick this is. And it's all downsloped. I'm trying to fight my way up it. Been a rough go so far. It's nice to stumble upon these little openings where there's been the die-off of manzanita and the huckleberry oak. Bushwhacking I still have to do almost to the base of the crags. Those are not the granite spires. You have to go around those, and then Log Lake is on the other side. I'm just about to finally get out of all this bushwhack. I'm going to skirt these outcroppings on the right side. There goes the granite spires. I just have to go right through here and right around this slope of rock is where the lake is. Alright, so here it is, Log Lake. Beautiful little gem. Well hidden here in the Klamath. I'd say it's definitely seldom visited. Figured I'd find somebody's fire pit. So I'm not going to go for the unnamed summit there. It's one solid boulder that's probably 20 feet. And I would probably need to have my rope with me to actually stand on the true top of it. So I crossed the tiny creek that's trickling now on the other side of the lake. And I do see what appears to be a human trail. It's not very well established, but you can see that it cuts to what looks like some good campsites as you get close to the base of the cliffs. Well, I am seeing recent footprints. You can kind of see them right here. So this is leaving the lake now. I am finding what looks like an old scrambler's trail. And I'm just going to follow this as best as I can, because wherever this winds me up further down below, that'll be kind of a good clue as to how to get back to this area if I ever want to come back. Again, the lake is over in there, and this band of, well, not cliffs, but almost cliffs, the trail makes an appearance all throughout the base of it, and it seems to go this way down into the valley here. I might lose it by this point, but it's good to know. And we'll see how the daylight goes and how I feel with the bushwhacking. I might try and get to the Grand National Mine, which is just on the other side of this immediate ridge. So I lost the trail. I have a feeling it's still kind of meandering on the exposed bedrock. I'm going to go ahead, since I'm not doing the summit, I'm going to head to the Grand National Mine. I don't think the mine itself is visible anymore. I think it caved, and there may be a building or so still there. Who knows whether that's collapsed as well. So now I'm on this ridge. It's probably an old moraine. Got loads of fun up ahead. Okay, crossing the lowest point of the valley here at this creek. So I get a nice little break. I'm gonna be going up this grassy slope, transition into the forest, and then at some point I'm going to be back in Manzanita turf. So the initial bushwhack has begun. I kept angling until I found this nice little dry runoff. So I'm hoping this is promising to stay going up this way for quite some ways and avoid all that. Climbing out a little bit. This is cool. You can see the transition from the more granite type of rock back to the red peridotite. Just right in the middle of this little gully. A beautiful view of the granite spires. This is the backside of Bear Lakes. And where I came from, Log Lake, is tucked up in there. I'm almost at the top of the ridge. Now cresting the ridge, starting the downhill approach, and I believe somewhere about 0.14 miles, according to GPS, should be at the mine. This right there is an old tailings pile. You could see little pieces of quartz. They found a seam. Descending down to another tailings pile, you could see where the mine was. Right here, it's long caved. So this mine must go back quite some time in the past, because these trees are decent size and they're growing on the tailings pile. Some of the exposed quartz is visible. There's a large chunk. A lot of the gold that you would find around here, especially if this is just a test mine, very microscopic. Probably wouldn't even see it at all. It'd have to be crushed and then worked out from there. So I came from up there. The mines themselves are maybe 200 feet vertically above me. And I am coming to what appears to be where the end of the road was. I'm not sure if I can trace it back. I sure hope I can. I don't want to bushwhack through all this. Old metal scraps here and there. This looks like it was probably an old tailings pile. And then there goes the structure. I really don't know what any of these would have been. It looks very interesting. I wonder if this was the yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Old cement. It's a ore cart track. Well, if you can see it. The adit must have been somewhere in here. It could have been, I could be over it, and this part just collapsed. I may have found a piece of chromite. Some serpentine. It's quite heavy, and you can kind of see some of the metallic shine to it. This is of course, the principal ore for chromium. Chromite is found in various mines around this part of the world in the Klamath Mountains, and you got to be in these serpentine areas to find them. Big, huge conveyor system. Climbing back up, I did find a quartz vein, and you can see a nice seam of fool's gold pyrite. It runs pretty much all the way through. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to this mine. I'm going to catch the old road and hopefully regain it down further below. I'm not sure if I'm going to hit a trail first or if I'm going to hit a continuation of the road above where those two vehicles were parked this morning. Another big apparatus of sorts. Some more metal scraps. So this is the old road. There's really no surface cover to it anymore. I am seeing very recent footprints, so who knows, it probably could have been the same guy from the lake. The road's there. I'm seeing a bunch of metal scraps again, and as I'm just looking about 100 feet off the side here in these big cedars, see what looks like some sort of pit. There could have been a cabin here. Old porcelain. Shell Oil Company. E62383, no, E62390. Alright, I just stumbled upon this main trail. There's a cairn here. That's where I came from, this old rutted road. So this must be, I should look at my GPS. I'm sure this trail goes up to one of the basins with the lakes. Crossing Tangle Blue. Almost back at the trailhead. So next time I come back, I'm gonna have to hit some of these lakes. Maybe we can get to the divide. That doesn't seem too far. The two vehicles are still here.